Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into the 143. We're here with you live with episode 219. Nick, how are we doing tonight?
Doing good. We got a baseball episode for you with opening day being upon us this week. So we are excited to get into the long and strenuous and gruesome baseball season.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they're doing opening day the way they are this season. There's a Wednesday night game, some Thursday games.
One game on Wednesday. Yeah.
So every team is like having different opening days, I guess. I don't love that, but I guess it is what it is. But yeah, baseball's back. Baseball's upon us. Every day is going to be just an absolute grind and just a lot of heartbreak coming everyone's way, whether your team does good or not. Because in the end, this year is the Dodgers World Series to lose, is it not? So we'll dive into that. Start us off. Stat of the week brought to you by our sponsor, Andrews Logistics. A March Madness stat for you, just because that's still going on. Duke has never won a national championship without beating St. John's. And Duke and St. John's are playing on Friday in a highly anticipated matchup between the two teams. I have St. John's winning in my bracket, so we're really going to need them to pull through here. But if Duke beats St. John's, then you could be seeing another Duke national championship this year.
Yep, I believe I have St. John's going to my Final Four. So
Same
I
here.
have them winning against Duke, but, very interesting. Could be a very telling game.
Yes.
Player of the week, we're going to bring it home a little bit. Nathan Eovaldi, the Rangers' opening day starter on Friday, our first home game, and he is also our season opener starter for our first game in Philadelphia as well. Last year put up what should have been a Cy Young winning performance. Got snubbed a little bit just because he didn't play there was a stretch where he was injured and didn't play. But anyways, posted a 4.4 WAR, 1.73 ERA, and he threw a total of 130 innings. And his walks, hits over innings pitched was less than 1. It was a .85, and then he had a total of, how many strikeouts did he have? A lot.
Yep.
He had 129 strikeouts, so he was wheeling and dealing last year. He's been just a solid cornerstone for the Rangers over the last couple of years. Obviously was a big part of us winning the World Series. He's always been solid for us, and he deserves the opening day start as much as anybody else. So kind of a no-brainer to have him pitching there, but it's nice to have a guy that you can always rely on in the rotation, and that's who Eovaldi is, and that's who he has been for the past couple of years for us.
Yeah, it's nice to have that 1-2 punch with Eovaldi and DeGrom. As we've heard for the last couple of years, if we ever make a postseason run again, that could be really dangerous for us, or for other teams.
Just need DeGrom to stay healthy too.
But Eovaldi's definitely our number one guy. I mean, there's no question about it. He is a big reason why we won the World Series. So, love that guy. He deserves the opening day nod and to be our ace. And, hopefully we can help him out this year more than we did last year. But we're going to dive into it. We're just going to go division by division and talk about, kind of what we like, who we like. And it's 162 games, and Nick and I are not fortune tellers, and injuries are going to happen, and teams are going to stink like the Rangers. And so, we're here for all of it, but we're just going to talk about what we like so far. We'll dive into it. American League East is going to kick us off. This is a loaded division. You got the Orioles, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Rays. And the Blue Jays won it last year. I don't hate the Blue Jays to win it again, but also the Orioles, I feel like, got a lot better this offseason, adding Pete Alonso, adding some arms. I think I'm going to take the Orioles to win this division here. It's not going to be the Yankees, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's been an interesting division over the last, I'd say, 5 years or so, just because you've had the Orioles who have been extremely bad for so long, and then the last couple of years they've really picked it up. Toronto had a breakout season.
Mhm.
You know, the Yankees have always kind of been the Yankees, where they always post a pretty solid season, and then you've got the Red Sox and the Rays. Um, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, Toronto, they still have such a loaded team. It feels like a little bit. I probably would take Toronto to do it again. Wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore did it, just because I
Yeah.
think you were saying they did get a lot better, and they've got a very young team. But I'm taking Toronto to do it again.
Yeah, and the reason I took the Orioles is mainly because I don't want Toronto to win it. I don't think the Yankees got any better, and I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of difference from the Yankees this year. I think the Red Sox could be better than they were last year, but they have some young guys, and so there's no telling with them. I just kind of hope Baltimore wins it.
And then big name there in Boston was Roman Anthony, who
Yeah,
had
I
a
love Roman Anthony.
showed out in the World Baseball Classic. And so I think they're kind of after that and all the hype around him going into last year, you're kind of expecting big things from him. And they've got a lot of young talent too. You've got a Jaron Duran, a Wilyer Abreu, and a couple other guys as well. So that's an interesting one. Obviously, the big thing was losing Bregman in the offseason to the Cubs. That was as much as I don't like him, solid foundation over there at the hot corner. Good bat in the lineup, but you lose that. But they still could be, a team that's competitive in the AL East. So, I mean, really could be anybody's but the Yankees.
Yep. So AL Central, this is just kind of an overlooked division because there's not very many big market teams. There's really no big market teams in this division. But, the Tigers got Justin Verlander and Framber Valdez on their pitching rotation. It's Scooble's contract year, as we've heard so much about recently. And, the Guardians won it last year with who won it last year? I thought the Guardians.
Detroit
won it last year. Guardians snuck up right behind them. That's what it was. But, I don't think the Guardians got much better. I think this is probably Detroit's division to lose this year. I really hope the Royals can find a way. The Twins offloaded everybody last year, so the Twins are going to stink. The White Sox always stink. I think you're looking at Detroit, Cleveland, or KC.
Yeah, probably Detroit again, just because of the pitching. Obviously, Tarek Skubal, who is the best pitcher in the world. Supposedly is what they say.
Heard.
That's what they say.
Right.
But when there are games to be played, he's in spring training. So
I hope he posts a 14 ERA this year. I hope he stinks.
Seriously, he's expected to be a Cy Young favorite. Supposed to be extremely good, but obviously when the games matter the most, he would rather be in spring training. So we'll see how that mentality gets him through the season.
I just hope that he gets absolutely shelled this year and that he doesn't make any money following that because he doesn't love his country.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say there.
KC, that's interesting. You've got a young Jack Caglione who made a big splash in the World Baseball Classic.
KC had a lot of people making splashes in the World Baseball Classic.
Vinny P. Obviously, Bobby Witt. He's top 2 shortstop in the league, defensive wizard.
Garcia and Perez for their teams as well.
Perez has been a solid, rock for them for.
Perez is like 60 years old, been in the league since 1969.
Yeah, but they could. I think they could be sneaky, but it's just tough with Detroit's pitching. But I think it still will be Detroit, but KC could be a sleeper there, maybe.
Yeah, we'll move on to the West, and obviously, I think Nick and I are we're gonna take the Rangers because that's what we do. But I legit don't know who's gonna win this division because I think Seattle got worse. I think Seattle, I don't know if they're going to have as good of a year this year as they had last year. I mean, the Astros and the Rangers were neck and neck all year, like they are seemingly every year. Um, the one team I know that didn't get better for sure is the Angels. They will probably be at the bottom. The A's, seem to kind of have things going their way. So the A's, I don't know if they'll be in contention, but they might. I wouldn't be surprised. But the A's, I think, will be not in last place this year. So,
I mean, I
don't know.
That's a tough one. Obviously, would taking Texas because
Taking Texas.
Not going to take not your team.
Nope.
But Seattle's interesting. Obviously, they won it last year. They have a great pitching staff, and I mean, they had a good, solid offensive year. Their MO for the last couple of years has been pitching and not offense, kind of what the Rangers did last year. But they had red hot offense to complement their pitching for once. Cal Raleigh had his outstanding season last year.
But does that happen again?
1,000 bombs, and you can't really count on that again.
No.
I don't think they got any better. You'd like to sit here and say that the Rangers got better, but it could be a lot of the same. If we can get above 500, I'd be happy. But
Seattle also has, I think, Seattle has some locker room issues they might need to figure out that stem from the World Baseball Classic. Who knows what kind of discourse is going on over there? But I'm happy to see, if there's a Seattle downfall, I'd love to be here for it. We hope Houston is bad, but Houston always feels.
They always find a way to compete. Yeah.
Yeah. So we hate to say it, but Houston, maybe it's their little league ballpark or something, but they always find a way to stay alive. National League East. This is kind of another tough one. I mean, I'm going to take Philly here because I think Philly's always trying to put a team together to win the World Series. They've been close and they've failed. I think Bryce Harper and those guys, they're always looking to get back. Atlanta had a really bad year last year, so who knows what's going to happen there. I don't really know about the Mets either. I know they got Simeon. They're obviously going to be contending for this division, just like the Phillies. It's probably between New York and Philadelphia, unless Atlanta has something to say about it.
Obviously, I don't. Atlanta's interesting. They had a horrible season last year, which doesn't really make sense because they've got so much talent there. I mean, they're gonna. I think they'll be competitive. Might give it to the Mets this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a weird division. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Atlanta snuck out just because they've got so much star power and talent. But if I had to pick somebody, I'd probably just pick the Mets.
Well, you got to shout out the Mets and the Phillies, man. Adolis Garcia going to the Phillies, Marcus Simeon going to the Mets. We want to see those guys succeed, just not more than they did on the Rangers. It hurt to see them go, but their offensive production the last couple of years has been terrible. We will face Philadelphia in the opening series. I'm sure Adolis is going to hit at least 3 bombs in that series.
He'll be the offensive beast that we knew and loved a couple years ago.
And then he'll go back. He'll go back after that. But, that's a competitive division. And, that's the one they always show on Sunday Night Baseball. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of Braves, Phillies, Mets, Phillies, Braves, Mets games like they like to show. Is that not the same 3 teams that play like on Sunday Night Baseball?
They do like that.
It is
side of the United States.
Thankfully, it is on NBC now. It's off of ESPN. Thank goodness. So maybe we'll get some different teams playing on Sunday Night Baseball. But priority number 1 was to get baseball off of ESPN, and they did. So we're happy about that. In the Central, this has been kind of the Brewers division, I feel like, recently. I'm going to take the Brewers again because I don't feel like they got any worse this season. They're always under the radar for some reason. You're going to have Chicago and Cincinnati vying for that spot as well. Pittsburgh got better. I don't see Pittsburgh doing anything this year, but, they could be up there. Obviously, the Cardinals are going to stink. They did not get any better, and they're kind of in a rebuild situation, I think. But I mean, the Brewers are just good every year. It feels like, and nobody talks
They
about
still
them.
have a chokehold on that division.
Yeah, and they've got Terang, they've got Yelich, they've got Mizrowski. They've got a lot of dudes over there. Contreras.
I'd probably take Chicago. I think they've been a little bit better last couple years. Obviously, like we talked about in the AL East, you've got the addition of Alex Bregman from the Red Sox to the Cubs, sitting over there at the hot corner. I feel like they had a shot last year, but they just
they had
fell. They just had a really bad stretch of baseball that kind of killed the end of their season. But I think they should be due. I think they're due. I mean, Milwaukee's had a chokehold on that division for like 10 years, I feel like. I mean, I don't know what the actual number is, but
it's been a while. I think
Chicago topple the Giant.
I think baseball is always better when the Cubs are good. So that's just one of those franchises that you root for to be good. Nobody. I feel like nobody really hates on the Cubs that much, just because they've been bad a lot recently, except for the one World Series year. But yeah, I'd love to see the Cubs be good and compete for their division. We'll go out of the West. I mean, the Dodgers are definitely going to win their division. I don't really think there's much of a question there. I mean, the Padres will be behind them. I don't think the Giants are.
The Rockies are terrible. Giants, meh.
They're okay. The Diamondbacks are okay, but we get to this point, and like we said before, like the Dodgers just continue to buy and buy and buy and stack their team, and they're back-to-back champs, and they're looking for a three-peat, which is very hard to do. I mean, it's the Dodgers World Series to lose. I don't know who would beat them.
It's just crazy because it's literally an all-star team that they built. Like you're creating a team, like it's like you're playing MLB The Show, customizing teams or something.
You can't hate on the Dodgers because like they're just it's not like what they're doing is
they're going out and pursuing players. Which you wish that your team would do, but
that's why the MLB is discussing a salary cap. That's why there's probably going to be a big lockout next season, and we're going to miss out on watching a lot of baseball. And it is the Dodgers' fault, but I mean they're doing what they can to win World Series. I mean, we're going to keep rooting against them, but
it's hard to pick against them in their division because they just
because they don't really have
for a reason.
Yeah, they don't really have bad stretches of baseball. And if you see them have a bad stretch of baseball, it's probably going to be April and May when the baseball doesn't matter as much. I mean, but when it's time to turn up, they show up and they take care of business, and then you see them. I mean, the Blue Jays gave them a run for their money in the World Series. The Blue Jays they had a real shot to win that game.
I mean, yeah, it went to a Game 7 extra inning.
It was a great game. It was a great World Series game.
Yeah.
It's not they can't be beat. It's they just haven't been beat yet, and
it's just tough.
It's not. But let's not give all the credit to Shohei Ohtani. Okay, he's a phenomenal talent. He's a great baseball player.
8 other players on the field, and did he hit the go-ahead home run?
No. Did he hit the home run in the 9th inning? No.
Did he make the insane catch to save the game in the outfield? No. Did he win World Series MVP? No. I don't remember him really doing that much in the postseason.
He didn't really do much in the World Series. He hasn't really done much in the World Series. But, let's not – when he's about to be up to bat, in 2 innings, let's not –
8 batters away.
Yeah, I don't care.
I know where he's at in the order, okay?
I think he's a great dude. I think he's a great dude, and he's a great baseball player. And, if you want to say – if you want to say he's, one of the best players that you've ever seen, you can say that. But, let's not act like he's the greatest baseball player of all time, okay? Because that's not really a thing in baseball, number one. And number two, if it was, it would not be Shohei Ohtani. Yeah. Until he's done with his career. He just, the numbers aren't there yet. So, People are going to disagree, but I'm not really sure why we've crowned him the greatest of all time already. I haven't seen it, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that's what the people are saying, but the people are wrong.
They are.
Anyways, here's like in our shows and under review. Brought you a quote from the Babe Ruth, and he said, "Every strike brings me closer to the next home run."
Ain't that the
Just think
truth?
about that for life. Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in this week. We'll see you next week with another episode of Under Review.